It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders, and today I'm coming at you with the Season 2 Alliance mode. I wanted to run through it in case there was any changes, and even if not, at least show you how to get in the higher waves with some of these teams. Now, to give you a quick rundown of the teams, because you'll see them mostly in action. This is the main team. It does a lot of healing, it does a lot of damage, and it persists through a lot of the waves. So the toppings I have running on these are some solid almonds on hollyberry, some cereals on eclair, some solid almonds on pumpkin pie, massive cooldown on cotton, and some solid almond on pure vanilla. The second team, there's some healing focus and some critical focus here. This is running candy for amplified buff on mala. I don't have toppings on milk because I've just run out of toppings, so I plan to get some on there, but I will get something at one point. Some critical jellies that need leveling up once I can get some more topping pieces for Twizzly. Yet again, amplifying buff with the candy jellies on the sparkling cookie. And then, of course, critical jellies on cream puff for those giant spells. This is the speed comp team. This one is actually running caramel toppings on both Madeline and Lilac. If you want more information on that, just go see the caramel topping video, The God of Speed, and that'll give more of a rundown on that. We've got cooldown on Frost Queen, cooldown on Mint, and cooldown on Pastry for their fastest activation abilities. On this team, we've got Cocoa with Almond for resistance, Serene on cream strawberry crepe for attack power. Same with Serene on sorbet for the most damage to the waves. And then Serene on Sea Fairy for extra damage to just pump out the damage output. And actually critical on Latte because she can deal a lot of critical damage too, especially with her glyphs. And then last but not least, our singular team, or single shot team I should say, is peanut toppings on dark chocolate for the most health and resistance with some damage resistant defense. We've got Serene toppings on black raisin for just maximum damage output. Cooldown for Parfait, so that way her ability to buff the team activates often. We need more toppings on rye cookie, but we just don't have them at the moment. And then for Vampire, we're going to be running the Serene. I was doing a critical apple jelly build, but I'm going to be running Serene for this time. So without further ado, here we go. Now I'm going to leave it on 1.5 times for the start, because we should be able to just blast through the waves without any issues, at least the first 5, because of how many cookies at the levels I have. I can already see that we have new enemies in this season, so that has already been changed. And we're going to see how far we get with the new enemies. So there might be some different strategies to cover this time compared to the last season. I could easily run down what the strategy was on the last season, but clearly it's been changed. I still have high hopes that this main team can last the first 17 waves like it did in Season 1. So we're going to go ahead and just see how far we go without any issues. Okay, so the new boss is the Jelly Worm instead of the Red Velvet Dragon. I do like the Jelly Worm, that's kind of cool. Thought I wasn't going to see that ever again until the earlier story mode, so I'm pretty happy that they brought that back. Alright, so as you can see, we're already at 200,000 points just because we're pushing through the waves quickly. We've barely taken even a nick of damage on our entire team so far. Wave 9. Another easy wave. Able to just push through. Alright, here we go. Wave 10. Okay, the magical enemies. It's good to see those again. So they've definitely shifted around the enemies from the previous season. So that is interesting, which means new strategies might be the new meta in comparison to what last season was. But you'll get to see that firsthand here. The chariots, I like it. All right, so let's see what we get for Wave 12, because we're about to get there. As you can see, my main team still has barely taken any damage. Now, it will be different for other people. I have a lot of research upgrades, a lot of bonds, all maxed fragment cookies, a lot of them at level 60. So that will make a difference. I don't have max treasures, but that will be in comparison difference to what some of you guys might have. So please do keep that in mind, that this is not an apples to apples comparison of what the results will be for you. But I do want to show you what this team setup can do at this level. So that way you can gauge it in comparison to what you will have at your level. So we got through Wave 12. Okay, let's see what Wave 13 is. 323,000 points so far. The crawlers, okay. Yeah, so still an easy wave for this team. Still not really taking a lot of damage. That's okay. Wave 14. Part of me does wonder if they've changed any of the debuffs or buffs on the waves, because I haven't necessarily noticed yet. Hard to tell. I'll have to definitely dive into that deeper. But that was something that a lot of people had feedback on to Dev Sisters, was both the healing debuff and some of the wave buffs that they had. Oh, the sniper cannon. Gink Goblin. Look at you. Coming back from the waves. This is almost a nostalgic run at this point. Alright, we took out Wave 16 still pretty easily. Still doing pretty good. Okay. Got the wisps. We're taking a little bit more damage, but we're still surviving without necessarily too much issue. I think at Wave 23, I'll probably slow it down so that we can get an idea of what we're coming up against and maybe make shifts on our teams in the coordinates to what we're fighting. We'll see. We'll see how we're faring. Still doing okay. Good, good, good. I like the little cactus ones. Cute. Alright, Wave 19. 500,000 points so far. Alright, there's the shields. In the first season, there were shields in the earlier waves. So, yeah, let's see. I think that they've probably made the alliance mode a little bit easier. And that might be because some of the best players were able to get to Wave 46 last season. Myself, I got to Wave 30. Well, 32 once, but 30 consistently. And so that means that it is likely that they've debuffed some of the waves for us to get further, so that maybe we can see Wave 60. And so we'll see what we get. Oh, nice. Cream roll. Yeah, they're definitely bringing a lot of the old bosses back. I do like that, though. I really do. So he's got the damage links, just like Almond Cookie. Still persisting through without too much issue. They've got a lot of good knockback, I'll give them that. And I'm starting to take damage. So we're getting to the point where we're going to have to slow down the waves to switch between the teams of what we think is going to have to change. But we're still trucking along. Now, Wave 21 was one of the hardest waves last season. Let's see what it is this time. Not so bad. Good damage. Good damage. So let's see the debuff. Enemies resistant to debuffs. Okay, so they're resistant to the weakness and the healing down from Eclair and Pumpkin Pie. That's interesting. Alright. I'm going to slow it to 1.2 times because we're getting higher waves. And before, in Season 1, these used to be pretty tough. So now, let's see what we get to at this point. Nearly 1,000,000 points, though. We're getting close. The way you get points is just by having waves completed without any full team deaths, and then speed clearance matters too. But as long as your team doesn't completely die and you switch out, you get those bonus points. So Red Velvet in this one. I do like that we get to see that this time. They got some really good damage there, but we did pull that back for Eclair. Alright, so we're good on wave 22. Wave 23, let's see. Okay, decent. Not as hard as the boss round that we just had at wave 22, so that's okay. Yeah, their damage is increasing for sure. As you can see, the cookies are starting to take the damage. Alright, wave 24. This used to be Black Raisin. Oh, okay. The greenish red dragon. Nice. Let's see if my team can just push through without dying. Oh, they take a lot of damage there. Might have to shift off. I don't know. It's pretty close. Yeah, okay. This is a learning experience, so I'm not going to necessarily switch out teams just yet because I think we can still get through. Okay. Switching to speed comp. We'll stay with this team for a minute. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see if we can push through them. Madeline's down. That's going to be tough. Let's see if we can get one more Frost Queen activation. I think we're going to have to switch here to the one-shot team. They've got a lot of healing going on. Yeah, not so much damage output from them, but a lot of healing. Quite a lot. This one-shot team should be able to help push through, though. Okay. We're going to switch to a different one. There we go. Get that damage piling on there. We're going to switch it back to 1.5 to see if we can speed up through this battle. It's a very interesting one. Cocoa and Strawberry Crepe are providing our great defense line while we try and demolish through this force. This is, in comparison to the waves before from Season 1, this was like wave 21 from Season 1. However, Season 1 21 wave was beatable. This one is pretty tough. I'll give it that. Coco's about to die on us. We just can't get through that healing. Even with 3 really high damage dealers. Okay. I'm going to switch one more time. See if I can get some continuous damage on them. Yeah, this is working a little bit better. At least in the sense of damage that is being put out on them. Okay. So we're going to probably need to upgrade our speed comp. Because that's where we're running into our biggest issues. So I'm going to have to readjust that. Because this healing is just going beyond the normal team setup. Because we can't even take out the main healing unit until those other ones go down, and that main one is just out healing the majority of our damage. We're starting to chip into it, though. Let me know in the comments what you think is the new best teams for the season. Maybe you have a specific idea or lineup that you think would be perfect. Or maybe you would have ideas on specific toppings that need to happen on certain cookies for maximum damage. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. As you can see, we're definitely having trouble beating the wave, but at the same time, it's not easily taking us down either. Actually, I think at this point I'm going to switch back to this team because this should be my strongest team, and he doesn't really have damage dealing units now. So I think I should be able to heal up my entire team during this wave. And sometimes you got to use waves like that if they're not necessarily dealing a lot of damage. Sometimes those can be good points for you to heal up and get things going. So yeah, as you can see, I've just been able to almost fully recover my team. It's at least getting there. If Cotton was still alive and I hadn't let Cotton die, then that would have been a good potential that the team would have been fully healed. And at least the good reason I have Pumpkin Pie here now is that healing goes down. And so that's why I pulled this team back out, because Pumpkin Pie reduces that healing. So that's going to be definitely important for future waves. All right, so let's see. We got the wave 27, so that's good. All right, now we're starting to take some pretty heavy damage. Let's run the speed comp for the moment just to push through. Good. We're going to switch teams again. We're pretty low on this one. Oh, especially against the Waffle Goliath. Definitely switching. I'm hoping we can just crit through before our guys die. I'll probably switch back one more time. Yep, because you want to get those bonus points, so you can't let the team fully die if you don't have to let that happen. Yeah, We're shredding him right there. There we go. Okay. Wave 29. Still doing good. Still doing good. Still alive. All right, and we're going to switch again right now. So from learning from my mistakes in this first run, without knowledge of what was there, I think I could at least make it to wave 32 again, as I did last season. Potentially more, but I will be reconfiguring some of the team setup. And then I will re-record and probably show you in a day or two once I've had some time to do some practice runs. But I want to at least show you my first reactions and impressions to the new Alliance mode. And as you can see, 1.3 million points, and that's the first time a full team has died. At this point now, it's just running them dry until all the teams have been vanquished, because I do not believe we will be passing this wave, and that's okay. Yep, and that's the final team blows. So thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. I will be reconfiguring, retesting, and repushing through the Alliance mode, and I will pull up another recording probably within the next few days to a week to see what we can get as far as our wave distance. But thank you for joining me for this, and I hope you have a wonderful day.